Welcome back, everybody, to Synalytics Crypto. My name is Mike. Thank you for joining me here today. We're going to talk about a couple pieces of news that I think are important. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about altcoins. And we're going to talk about the continuous bullish movement that is still starting to happen. Yet at the same time, we're going to talk about why you should be very aware of these particular times, because volatility reigns, and that is not always the safest place to be trading in and out of, although at the same time, you've got to look for opportunities. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag here today, you guys. But first, before we get into the first article, let's look at what we're into today. We're at 1.383, so a little bit of a rebound. Let's take a look at the 1 hour and the 7 hour. Look, everything was oversold. It has been oversold. Just like at one point it becomes overbought, it becomes oversold. If you watched yesterday's video, you understand it's all manipulation in the meantime, because the whales manipulate the shorts just like they manipulate the longs, and basically everybody gets wrecked. But here we have a nice bounce back. Look at the 24 hours. We're starting to see double-digit green, right? It's a good thing. It is a good thing, but it's also very normal because, like I said, everything was oversold, and so these bounce backs tend to be kind of more like snapbacks. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that it's time to go throw all your money into your favorite Bitcoins or altcoins, because there's a lot of FUD in the market today. There's a lot of things going on with China. There's a lot of things going on with the mining. There's a lot of things going to implement fear into the retail hands. The article that we're going to read at first proves it. What I want to go over with you guys today is searching for those entries, waiting for the right time, waiting for the momentum swings, waiting for a shift in what's going on with the price movement. Right now, we are still going to the downside with bounce backs in between, but we're still going down. Not a bear market, but a bearish sentiment within what I still believe is a bull market. Let's read this first article here because I think it's very important. It pertains to people just like you and I. Bitcoin price dip necessary to weed out paper hands, says Meltem Demirors. CoinShares Chief Strategy Officer Meltem Demirors has reaffirmed her confidence in the long-term value proposition of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Virtual currency token prices plummeted over the last few days, with altcoins shedding as much as 72% from their April and May highs. Speaking to CNBC on Tuesday, the CoinShares CEO described current market downturn as a shakeout of paper hands, a term used to describe investors quick to panic sell amid price declines. Now, before I go on this article, let's find out, who are those paper hands? Leave a comment below. Are you paper hands? Have you been selling? And if you have been selling, what are your reasons? Is it because you're over leveraged? Is it because you're using money that you can't afford to lose? Or is it just because of fear? Whatever it may be, believe me, I understand. I've been there with you. Although I can proudly say that I do not have paper hands, because I've waited out the last bull market that lasted almost 3 years. And I'm just kind of waiting around for this bear market to shake itself out as well, because those are the times to hold. Fortunately, I'm not in a position to where I have over leveraged, or I'm using tomorrow's lunch money or tomorrow's rent money to be invested in cryptocurrency. The problem is we have a whole lot of new investors, you guys. We have a whole lot of people that jumped over from the stock market. We got the whole TikTok generation coming over. We got people who've never even heard of or don't even understand really what Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies are, coming over, throwing their money in a bunch of meme coins, trying to make millions of dollars overnight. Now, what happens when they buy it at a place where they're kind of sort of near the top, right? They turn into paper hands because they want to buy something on the way up. They don't understand that buying something on the way down is better, because you create a margin and you end up with more profits for the next upturn. A lot of new people in this market, and I'm speaking directly to you. You don't have to be a paper hand. You're choosing to be a paper hand because you're uninformed. And that's all I'm saying. I'm definitely not knocking anybody. Look, everyone's got their own worries in life to take care of. Everyone's got their own bills to pay, their children to feed, and all these things. It's just being educated and understanding where this whole thing is going will keep you from being paper hands. Like I've said in many videos before, the only way you can participate in this massive whale manipulation that has been going on for several weeks now is to give over your cryptocurrencies, especially at a loss. Once you give in, and you give in at a loss, you're now playing into the whole reason why these things go down in the first place. It's because people don't understand what's going on. According to Demirors, the preceding parabolic advance was not sustainable. I agree. We had 200 days of market expansion, she says. You can't have a number go up forever. Facts. That doesn't happen in any market. What we're seeing is a correction, a contraction, and a lot of what is getting shaken out is what we call paper hands, the weak hands, the retail investors like you and I, yet the ones who don't understand what they're getting invested into in the first place. Indeed, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies enjoyed a parabolic advance beginning November 20th, with BTC moving beyond $20,000 and reaching an all-time high, a new all-time high of $64,000. For Demir's, retail investors trooped into the market on the back of the bullish price action without doing their due diligence. See, these aren't just my words. These are market analysts. These are people with degrees. They know so much more than I could ever know, but they understand market sentiment. And these kind of articles might be hard to read, or this kind of video might be hard to watch, especially if you've been taking losses. But remember, you're not taking losses until you actually materialize those losses, just like you're not making gains until you materialize those gains. In its report from earlier this week, CoinShares stated that Bitcoin had seen its third consecutive week of outflows from institutional funds, which indicated bear market sentiments. Meanwhile, the CoinShares executive highlighted the longer-term holders, or diamond hands, have not been fazed by the recent downturn. Yes, I can speak from that because I am diamond hands. I don't like paper hands. I don't like diamond hands. I don't like these little new quotes that everyone's tossing around. But if I was to fall under a category, it absolutely is diamond hands because I'm not fazed. I've watched my portfolio go cut in more than half. Yet I'm not worried because I know and I understand where everything is going, why I'm here, and I'm here to inject hope into this market because right now everybody's freaking out and they don't really need to be. You don't need to be. You need to become a better investor. You need to learn from these mistakes, and you need to understand that that's what's going to make you a better trader and a better investor as things begin and continue to move forward. If we look at on-chain activity, she says, wallets that have been holding for a very long time have been actually using this opportunity to what? To accumulate, because we are in a reaccumulation phase, you guys. There is a new level of accumulation. What we're seeing right now is a lot of sideways, a lot of downwards, and a lot of snapbacks, right? But ultimately what you can categorize that as is accumulation. Now, what happens when accumulation phase starts to come to an end? What we typically see is us going back into bullish territory, continuing the bull run, whatever you want to call it. There are people with a lot of money who are still in accumulation phase, and once their little bellies are full and their little wallets are full of all their Bitcoin and altcoins, they're going to drive the prices right back up. Has yet to be determined. We shall see. Amid the price turndown, MicroStrategy announced additional Bitcoin purchase, taking its BTC holdings above 100,000 coins. The company now holds more than twice as many Bitcoin as other publicly listed companies with stated Bitcoin treasuries. Crypto markets post significant recovery. After dipping below 29,000, Bitcoin posted a $5,000 price recovery as the crypto market saw an injection of $200 million in investment. At the time of this writing, the total market capitalization is now above 1.4 trillion mark. Altcoins that were the hardest hit during the recent slide also beginning to show some signs of upward price progression. Ether is still struggling to climb above $2,000. Still, $2,000? Come on, it wasn't long ago before Ether was like $200. With Binance Coin still below $300. There wasn't too long ago where Binance Coin was below $10. Large macro perspective, guys, is where you need to be. I understand that wherever you get into the market is kind of where you start, but that's why you need to research. That's why you need to zoom out. That's why you need to DYOR. That's when you need to find out what are the trends. What was 2017 like? What was 2018 like? What was 2019 like? Where are we now? And where are we going? Those are the kinds of things in your mindset that you must understand. Whether your entry point is high or low, that doesn't really matter. The major alts have double-digit percentage recoveries in the last 24 hours. Trading period with Doge back over 23 cents. XRP is at more than 20%, with Cardano looking to reach the $1.30 mark. How long ago was it before some of these coins were basically worth nothing? Let's talk about something that's more relevant, like Cardano. Cardano was like 8 cents, 10 cents. Not that long ago. The explosive movement that we have seen has drawn a lot of attention to the cryptocurrency market. Unfortunately, people are uneducated and they're trying to become rich overnight, and that is what contributes to these kinds of downfalls, because these people are so easily manipulated by the news, by the crypto whales, and by things that are unseen that they don't even spend time researching. They just want to know, where's my next 10x? Where's my next 100x altcoin? What am I going to do? How much money can I throw at this today and, gosh, I got to make my car payment next week. If I invest in Dogecoin right now, I'll probably double or triple because Doge is definitely going to $1, right? And then you hit a downturn, and then what do? You have to sell and take a loss, which is just contributing more to the downside. So obviously I've said enough. Let's get to the next piece of news here, because this is very important. Now, whether what we're experiencing right now in the last 24 hours is a snapback, or if we're starting to kind of hit the bottom because a lot of institutional money is grabbing up what they can when they can, and are we headed back towards going up into a bullish trend? Now, if we are, it's important to note that a lot of times, now there's arguments on both sides, and they're both based in facts, but a lot of times every single time it's based on Bitcoin, but a lot of times people will pour into Bitcoin first because that is the king daddy asset. That's the one that determines, where everything else is going. But you'll start to see the market dominance start to flip, and everything starts pouring into Bitcoin, and everyone starts selling their altcoins because Bitcoin's about to go on a run. But that's not exactly happening right now. Right now, we're seeing altcoins and Bitcoin kind of come back together. The only reason I point this out is because I believe that when we do shed this market accumulation phase that we're in right now, once we start to shed some of the bearish momentum and some of the bearish news articles, and everybody starts to swing the momentum back to the upside, I believe that Bitcoin and altcoins are going to recover together. I don't think you're going to see a massive pour off of altcoins into Bitcoin and then waiting for the cycle to repeat for it to run downhill. And really, honestly, that's very healthy. When you see Bitcoin and altcoins run together, that is the sign of a very healthy market. So let's look into this. Altcoins follow Bitcoin price lead as uncertainty grips crypto market. Cryptocurrency investors all over the globe have been facing challenging times for over a month, thanks in large part to the unprecedented price drops that have happened across the board in relation to its most prominent digital currencies available in the market. Since the start of June, the total market capitalization of this relatively nascent space has dipped from a little over 1.8 trillion to around 1.3 trillion, thus showcasing a loss of over 40%. It's actually been more than 40% in individual coins, but as a market cap, yes, it's about 40%. One thing interesting to note is that the market has declined and shows signs of contracting, while Bitcoin has continued to display strong correlation with Ether and the wider altcoin market in general. So they are basically kind of running or falling together. To elaborate on this point, it can be seen that BTC's correlation with ETH has continued to hover close to the 0.8 mark over the last 30 days. There's a nice little chart for you to look at. To make better sense of what these numbers represent, it should be highlighted that the values ranging between 0 and 0.3 suggest little to no correlation between the two assets, while those between 0.3 and 0.5 suggest low correlation. We're going to skip the rest of that. We're going to talk about this. What does this all mean here? What does it all mean, guys? What does it all mean? So, if this correlation is this correlation bad for the cryptocurrency market and those holding or trading coins? Leo Chang, co-founder of decentralized lending protocol Cream Finance, told Cointelegraph that while BTC has always been considered to be the strongest, safest store of value across the global crypto landscape since April, Ether and a host of other altcoins have gained a lot of value in relation to the world's largest cryptocurrency. He added, as part of this pullback, it is not surprising to see funds flowing back into BTC. Altcoins have historically been highly correlated and follow Ether's lead. The surprise for many in the past months is how meme coins have outperformed DeFi tokens, given the productive asset narrative. I believe that meme coins have been part of the problem because DeFi is a real protocol. DeFi offers so many things for so many people if you understand and have the time to delve into DeFi. What do meme coins have to offer? Nothing but hype, nothing but hopium, nothing but smashed dreams, and a few lucky millionaires in the meantime who basically end up becoming whales to manipulate the hands of the weak. The TikTok generation, meme coin, crap coin poop has been part of the problem. I've been saying that for a very long time. Chang further noted that in addition to the price volatility, various adoption metrics associated with the crypto market, such as a total number of users, network activity, have continued to hit all-time highs. All-time highs, guys. Builders in crypto haven't stopped building. Market pullbacks reduce noise and give builders space to innovate, he said. Similarly, I'm not going to slaughter that guy's name, CEO of a digital asset platform Nexo, told Cointelegraph that the latest episode of Chang's ongoing love-hate relationship with crypto has made a dent in Bitcoin's price. I disagree. Only to set a sour pattern for the rest of the market. He added, When news like this comes and Bitcoin reacts, it usually entails serious consequences for the wider crypto asset universe. Also, only a few alts followed in BTC's tracks, while it kept soaring in 2020 and was mainly DeFi projects, experiencing exponential growth during the so-called DeFi summer. Lastly, this guy's last name is of the view that if inflation rates continue to increase, and they will, after the record high month of May, he expects cryptocurrencies to outperform all other asset classes this year. I also agree. This could possibly translate into a renewed decline in Bitcoin's correlation with altcoins, much like the peak of the market we saw earlier this year. So like I said, a lot of times Bitcoin runs on its own and it bleeds the altcoins. And then sometimes in a healthy market, everything kind of starts to go together. I believe that that's what we're going to see. I believe that when this shakeout is finished, I believe that when all of these things come out in the wash, people are going to run back to cryptocurrencies. If the stock market has a major fallout, which I believe it's overdue for because the economy just keeps propping it up artificially by printing more and more and more of these, it can only go so far. It can only go so long. The stock market's headed for trouble. The best place I believe to have your assets are cryptocurrency, and it is in this order: gold and silver and property, especially income property. Once the reset, the global reset of debt, which I believe is coming this decade at some point, happens, I think cryptocurrencies are going to be the safest place. Why do I think that? Because I believe that that's where the most innovation is. This whole dinosaur legacy program has nothing left to offer. There's nothing there. You can't put your money in the bank. You can't earn enough interest to even stave off inflation. What else are you going to do with your money? You got to have hard assets like property and gold and silver, but the innovation and the technology is what drives the world. There's no more innovation that you could possibly find than what's taking place on a daily basis in the cryptocurrency market as a whole. Now, not all crypto projects are going to survive. That's a fact, and they shouldn't. We have thousands and thousands of absolute trash meme coin going nowhere, selling promises of hopium and dreams of being overnight millionaires. That stuff is all trash, and it needs to go by the wayside. But through this revolution that is happening digitally, through cryptocurrencies, through the blockchain, we're going to see a whole new world open up of technologically induced increases in the world, ways of transacting, ways of doing smart contracts. It's going to affect everything from supply chains to just tracking basically everything that would be a product that so you can find out its authenticity. I mean, cryptocurrencies are basically invading the space of everything in the world. So that's where the innovation is, guys. That's why I believe that this is the safe place to be. That's why I don't have paper hands. That's why I hold through the bear markets. And if I can, I accumulate, and I accumulate smartly. I don't just go throwing all my money in on the biggest dip that's going to happen in the next 3 days or the last 3 days. You got to always have ammo on the sideline, but you also have to have conviction in where this is going so you don't be part of the problem. We all want to be part of the solution here, not the problem. This is a very similar article. I'm not going to read the whole thing because I just read most of that, but crypto market cap recovers 76 billion. Altcoins rally after Bitcoin hits 34K. So what this basically says is like, look, when Bitcoin starts to come back up, we're at a place right now in the cryptocurrency space where so many new investors and so many people have diversified portfolios that the altcoins are inevitably going to come up with it. Now, you should always have Bitcoin in your portfolio. You should always have a handful of good top 50 projects in your portfolio as well. And some people like to take on more high risk management and have some of those hidden gems that nobody really knows about because that's where your 10, 20, 100x gainers are. That doesn't really happen until the market will regain some of its traction. We need to see some upwards momentum for a number of weeks here. I do believe that Bitcoin needs to get above $40,000 to $42,000 and on its way past 45K before we really understand that now there's a market reversal. And at that point, it's safer to kind of buy back in, but then you also have to offset that with the opportunities that are kind of here right now, because like I said, that's when you create your margins. So it's up to you how do you choose to invest in this very volatile market, but there is a case to be made for both scenarios. Waiting for the trend reversal, but also taking advantage of what opportunities lie out there right now. There will always be pullbacks. Dip happens, you guys. Dip's always going to happen, right? But where you're at and what you're comfortable with, that's the most important strategy that you can get. And the way to do it is to kind of go through these hard times, you guys. That's what got me to where I am today in this market. And that's why I would never end up being a paper hand, because I have that conviction. I know where this is going. I know when and where to put my money and at what times, because I learned the hard way. You just got to learn the hard way. So I'm telling you guys this right now so there's some hope out there, because there's a lot of people who are really scared, and you don't need to be. You are in control of your investment strategy. It's up to you what you do with the investments that you've decided to already engage in. Last piece of news. Not going to read this article, just something to talk about because it's happening, and it's happening in real time. Mike Novogratz, institutional investors will see Bitcoin's price decline as opportunity to buy. Yes, I've been saying this for months, you guys. So many people miss the boat. And think about those people, those corporate investors, those people with a lot of money, those hedge funds, all kinds of places for people to put their money these days. They saw Bitcoin at 64K, and I guarantee you a lot of them were actually considering buying at that time. The ones who didn't probably, well, not probably, they did themselves a favor, and they did whoever's money that they're playing with or holding onto or having custody of, they did them a favor too. If they were thinking about it at 64,000, you better believe they're thinking about it at 32,000, because that's 50% off. So I've been saying this for a long time. It's just a matter of time. When these dips happen, I really sometimes believe that they're manufactured so that certain people with a lot of money and a lot of influence can get their chance to get in because they missed the boat. Now that's FOMO on a corporate level. And what does that do? It creates falsified or at least manipulated instances where they've allowed themselves through whatever situations that they can to get themselves an opportunity to invest in something that they kind of already missed out on, and they're feeling pretty crappy about it. So it's interesting that, of course, we all know that Mike Novogratz is still bullish about Bitcoin. He's always been a bull. The man understands the wide scope of what's going on here, and he's no fool. He wants to promote what he's invested in. So good for him. He's got the platform to do it, but he's right. Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz says he is not nervous about Bitcoin's price falling, even if it falls below 30K. The ecosystem is so much more mature. The amount of the players that are moving in are so much more mature. In other words, they have a lot more money. Every single bank is working on their own crypto project. Interesting. Little inside information right there. Novogratz still bullish about Bitcoin. Mike Novogratz commented on the Bitcoin market Tuesday in an interview with CNBC as the price of the cryptocurrency fell below 30K. Commenting on the falling BTC price, Novogratz said, "If it's really breached, $25,000 is the next big level of support. I'm less happy than I was at 60,000, but I'm not nervous." Good place to be. I assume this man is not playing with tomorrow's lunch money. The Galaxy Digital CEO opined, we had China really be much more forceful in their idea to ban cryptocurrency. That's created a retail deleveraging. Sorry, guys. A lot of crypto happens in Asia. A lot of it is Chinese focused, so we are bleeding big liquidations. It's so hard to call a bottom. Novogratz believes that the Chinese government's crackdown is long-term positive for Bitcoin. Completely agree. Maybe not in the short run, like I've been saying, but it's a good thing. That's what's created this excessive volatility that we've seen, he detailed. Recently, Facebook's head of payments and the Diem crypto project, what used to be called Libra, I suppose, David Marcus, also said that China cracking down on Bitcoin's mining is a great development for Bitcoin. So, I'm not the only one who thinks these things. Many people agreed with him on Twitter. Overall, Novogratz does not expect Bitcoin to suffer a massive crash, which it already kind of did. 50% is a lot. That's a crash. Elaborating here, the ecosystem is much more mature, blah, blah, blah. The amount of players that are moving in are much more mature. Every single bank, okay, we just read that quote. I don't know if I got to read it twice. I think a lot of clients that didn't buy in for the first time will see the price low level as an opportunity to get involved, he concluded. Look, these billionaire guys, I've said this before, you guys, they all know each other. It's the billionaires club. These guys all talk, they share ideas, they get inside information. There's all kinds of corruption, but the point is that things are moving, and things are moving very, very quickly. So if there's opportunities being created for people with a lot of money, then we should be able to see these opportunities as well. Because if you're over leveraged and you have nothing else to spend, then you put yourself in that situation, and that's unfortunate. Just please learn from it, become a better trader, become a better investor so you don't get shaken out. We've went over these things before. This video is getting long-winded, but I always got a lot to say. And I do it because I care. I make these videos because I care, you guys. I'm not here selling anybody anything. I'm not here doing any reviews on any projects. I'm not making money from this YouTube channel. I'm simply putting information out there because I care about people and I want to see this whole thing succeed. I want to see all of you succeed. Thank you for being members, loyal members of Synalytics Crypto here. Like I said, if you want to support this channel, you guys, just give the thumbs up. That's all it takes. Leave a comment. It's just a few seconds. Share this with somebody who doesn't have access to my channel yet, so this channel can grow, so more people can hear this voice of reason out there in a world where things can be too euphoric, or the bottom's falling out and the sky's falling and everyone's full of fear. I don't want you guys in either place. I want you to be level-headed in your investments. I want you to be level-headed in your approach. I've been there. I understand it. That's why I do it. Thank you so much for your support, and peace.